really was to
that I felt like I needed, and I was comfortable in that space of just me and God.
Hope is offensive. Hope is desperate.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Jumpstart Your Vision with Coach Karen Hilton. We're back. It's 2023, you guys. And I know it's almost March, but since we're just seeing each other, I got to say it. Happy New Year. I promise I won't say it anymore after that. But come on in here. I am so excited to get this season started. If you are new to this community, I want to say welcome. This is an incredibly special place. And we've got some exciting things coming in 2023. And we're going to introduce you to some of the people who make the magic happen, both kind of behind the scenes, but also on the front end. But here's the real magic in all of this. The reality is that if you are that type of person who is vision driven, maybe you're in the workplace, maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're a CEO of your own business, maybe you're an author, or a physician, or whoever it is you are, but vision is that thing that drives you, then this is the community for you. So come on in here. Welcome to the space. Most every Monday morning, you'll find us right here at 8:15. And it's our goal to jumpstart your week, to give you a place to get that inspiration, encouragement, and equipping that you need to build the vision that God gave you. So come on in here. We're excited. I've got my coffee, and this is the way we do it. We bring our goods. We bring our stuff wherever you are. Maybe you are sitting at your desk. Maybe you're at work, and you've got your headphones in, and you're just ready to get that inspiration. Good morning. We are so glad to have you here. Or maybe you're like one of our community members who is a teacher, and she's getting ready for her day, and she listens to us in her headphones or on her smartphone while she's getting the classroom ready. How cool is that? I heard that story and I was like, okay, that makes sense. That's the way to do it. It's just one of the many ways. So if you are here for the first time, welcome. Drop in the comments and let me know that you're here. I would love to have a chance to meet you. Do not be surprised if we put your comment on the screen. We like to shout you out because if you're taking the time to join us here, we kind of think that's a big deal. If you are one of our OGs, one of our ride or dies, one of our ride to lives, as we like to call it, then welcome back. It's good to see you. Or maybe you are one of the folks who joined us recently for our Vision Build workshops. If you attended one of our Vision Build workshops and you're joining us this morning, drop a note in the comments. I want to shout you out, y'all. These are our live in-person workshops that happen every single year at the beginning of the year. We start in January, and this year we're actually going to be extending those. We're going to be doing a few extra because we got the demand for it. Who knew? But if you are here and you attended one of those, drop a note in the comments. In today's show, I'm doing a solo episode because I want to give you a little bit of the lay of the land about what's coming. And then I want to tackle a topic that has actually been a pretty big focus in my corporate practice. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm an executive coach. I have a corporate practice on the side. That's my side date. That's my side hustle. Not really. It's the other way around. But I have the great privilege of working with some of the best leaders in the world, from the East Coast to the West Coast and everywhere in between. And what I find every year is there's this theme that happens, but it doesn't just happen in the corporate space. I find that a lot of the same types of issues happen in the entrepreneurial space or in the mission-driven space, meaning those folks who work in like the public sector, or maybe they're in ministry, or maybe they've started a nonprofit. I work with a lot of those leaders as well, and there's a lot of commonality. So you got a little secret about our community, and that is that although we are a very diverse community, there's some things that pull us together. There's a foundation that we share. There's a kind of a shared commitment, and that is a shared commitment to this idea of vision. We're going to be unpacking what vision is, why it matters, why we need it. All of that in these episodes, and we hope that you'll join us every single Monday. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to pop into the comments and just see who's in here. We've got none other than John Kovaleski. John is my big brother from another mister. Now, one of these days, I'm going to have him on here so you can meet him. Some of you know him really, really well, but he is our executive technical producer behind the scenes. He makes me look really, really good. So he's behind the scenes. So, hey, Coach John, love you, buddy. We've got some really cool things coming up this year, and he's going to be in for all of it. And then we have one of our OGs, Christy Kent, is here. Hey, Christy. Hi, girl. Hi. I see her quite a bit, actually. And I'm super excited she's here. You guys are going to be seeing more of Christy as well. She's got some incredible mission-driven projects going on. She's also one of my best friends. And I'm just saying, if you mess with me, you got to mess with her. So you take that for whatever you want. And I'm so excited to introduce you to this woman. Her name is Heather Cleverly. If you guys do not know Heather Cleverly of the Magnolia Black, y'all go follow her on Instagram and Facebook. She is just killing it right now. She is our new director of digital marketing and social media. She is absolutely incredible. She is already in a very short period of time made a huge impact in my practice on both sides of the business. And so you're going to get a chance to meet her one of these days. But for right now, she's in the comments. Hey, Heather. Good morning, sweetheart. Glad to see you. And then wait for it. We got Kim Dudash up in here. Whoop, whoop. Okay, Dudash Executive Coaching. Kim Dudash is one of my besties. She's based out of Tennessee. She and her husband, Brian. Hey, guys. They have so many amazing things going on. And Kim's practice right now, she is also an executive coach, is growing by leaps and bounds. She's doing some incredible work. Kim, I'm coming for you this year because we need all the updates. We need to know what you're passionate about, what you got going on in your vision. We want to hear all about it. So I'm hoping to have Kim on the show as well. So this is the way we do it. If you are joining us live, jump into the comments. And when you click on the link, if you're watching this from Facebook, you will get a prompt that says, allow StreamYard to see your comment, because we want to be able to have a chat. This is not just a presentation. This is a dynamic discussion about all things vision. We may be talking about things that are related to vision or leadership in the workplace. We may be talking about vision or leadership and things that are related to leadership in the entrepreneurial space, and so on. So this is a dialogue. Jump into the comments and let us know. If you are watching and you're like you haven't actually clicked on it, you can do us the biggest favor by actually clicking on that to let Facebook know that we're here and that you're engaged in the conversation. So join us if you can. All right, let's see. What are the other things we're going to talk about today? I want to talk about the 7 habits that may be keeping you stuck. And I'm going to give you some perspective on that. And I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're talking about this in the space of vision and leadership and all of those things. It's not lost on me that coming out of the past several years was not kind of the smooth, easy transition. We didn't just kind of snap back to it. And what I find, especially in the leadership space, is that there are so many people who are still trying to get their bearings. And can I just tell you that that's okay? One of the other things that we see, particularly in when I'm working with one-on-one leaders, is that vision-driven leaders are most often likely to keep it a secret that they are feeling stuck or that they don't know the next step. Anybody want to confess to that? I can tell you that sometimes when I get in my head, I get to the point where I feel stuck and I don't tell anybody. I just keep going. I'm like, no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. We're good. Yeah, everything's good. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly how to overcome this. I know the answer. The reality is that none of us were designed to just do it alone. I'm going to give you an option today, particularly if you're an entrepreneur, to get unstuck and to kind of get off that struggle bus a little bit. So that's what's coming in the next few minutes. All right. So I have a question for you, and y'all know I give homework I want you guys to engage, but then I give homework and I want you to follow up when we give out these challenges, because this is really where we take the art and science of vision and we apply it. All right, so here's the question I'm going to ask you. I want you to think about kind of your life, your work, your business, maybe your mission. And I want you to think about the different categories within your vision, within your business, your life, your ministry, whatever that is. And you say, well, Karen, what do you mean by that? Here's what I mean. None of us have a vision that's one-dimensional. You can write that down. None of us have a vision that's one-dimensional, right? When I started my business, I said, I want to work for myself. I want to do life on my own terms. I'm like, yes, that's it. Anybody know that if you work for yourself, or if you're actually in charge, if maybe you lead a team, that you don't actually work? That's not the way it goes. You don't actually work for yourself. There's not just one lane. You're not just doing one thing, particularly if you lead a team or you lead a business. You don't just have one client. You don't just have one area of responsibility. The reality is that leading is not for the faint of heart, because you have multiple stakeholders. Even if you are a solopreneur, can I get an amen, anybody? Even if you are that leader of the team, you don't just have one employee or one area of responsibility. The reality is that there are lots of people and things weighing on you and requiring your attention. So when it comes to your business, your mission, your family, whatever that thing is that's top of mind for you as a vision-driven leader, I want you to pick just one category in your life. Maybe it's finances. Maybe it's operations and how you run your business. Right now, that is a huge focus for me. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Maybe it is a relationship that just is eating your lunch right now, and that's all you're thinking about. I want you to pick that one category. You got it in your head? Everybody got it? Pick that one thing, that one category. Pick that one category, and I want you to answer this question. What's your vision for 2023 for that category? What's your vision for that category? You say, Karen, like that seems like such a trite question. Can I tell you that a majority of leaders that I work with, both on the corporate side and here in Rock Your Vision, struggle to answer that question? Don't take it personally. Do not come for me. I'm just saying, most of us struggle to answer that question. Here's what I get when I ask my leaders that question. Well, I really want to feel good. It's like this vague, kind of nebulous response. How many of you know that to rock your vision, you got to do more than just think about it? You have to do more than just work harder. Sorry, there you have it. You now know what I learned when I started this journey almost a decade ago. I'm really good at kind of visualization and kind of that big nebulous kind of thing out there. But the reality is that the leaders that you and I know that we admire or that we see on the front of magazine covers, y'all, they weren't just talking about nebulous things that were out there in the stratosphere somewhere. You know what they did? They got focused, they connected to their purpose, and they developed perspective. I just dropped another huge one on you. All right. These are the 3 pillars of our community: focus, purpose, and perspective. Write it down. You now have a game-changing strategy to be able to rock your vision. And in this community, that's what we're going to be talking about in 2023. We're going to give you tools, tips, strategies. We're going to introduce you to some of the most incredible vision-driven leaders in the workplace, in entrepreneurship, all around the world. I've got a few that we already have teed up. So mark your calendars for every single Monday at 8:15 and see what all the fuss is about. We got some things going on around here, and we are now almost 10 years strong. You guys, I can hardly believe it, but it is absolutely true. Hey, Jessica Banner, welcome in here, girl. So Jessica, answer this question. Am I lying when I say that answering that question about what is your vision for whatever category of your life, am I lying when I say that is one of the hardest questions as a vision-driven leader you will ever ask yourself? It's one of the hardest questions you will ever ask yourself. It seems really easy, but it's not. But there is a way, there's a strategy, a framework that can help you build a vision that you absolutely love. I'm so excited to be able to unpack that with you this season. But for right now, I want to get into our topic today, which is 7 habits that keep you stuck. We want to talk about these because guess what? When you name a thing, you can now deal with the thing, right? We do this thing as vision-driven leaders where we just work harder. We feel like if we do more, if we push harder, if we think harder about a thing, then that actually equals momentum. And I've got to tell you something, friend. If you are that person who's just working harder or saying yes to everything or stepping into promises and commitments that have nothing to do with the vision that God gave you, I want you to know you're going to continue to be frustrated. And we don't do frustration around here, right? We do inspiration, encouragement, and equipping. And so here we go. You ready? So let's talk about some of the habits that keep you stuck. And here's what I want you to do. If you're joining us live, pop into the comments and I want you to give me an amen or just your perspective or your experience on what this looks like. All right. You ready for the first one? And I'm just going to go straight for it. Again, please don't send me any nasty grams because I'm not going to read them. Well, I may read them, but you may not like the answer you get back because I've got to tell you the truth about these things when it comes to rocking your vision. The first one is the obligated yes. The obligated yes. Let's talk about what the obligated yes is. Somebody tell me, when you hear that, the obligated yes, what comes to your mind? The obligated yes. Karen, can you? Yep. I can. Oh, we reserved a spot on the committee just for you. Okay. The obligated yes is exactly what it sounds like. The obligated yes is that yes that you give out of obligation, but it has no alignment attached to it. Y'all can write that down. That's good. That's good, Karen. Okay, it got mighty quiet around here. The obligated yes. The first habit that keeps you stuck when it comes to building a vision that you love. I know that you love being here. And when I first was getting started, I found I've got all of these people that are attaching to what we're doing. And we started this particular live stream during the pandemic. So it was a beautiful thing. Like this particular live stream exploded. I had no idea that what we were doing was actually going to make an impact. I mean, I was doing like everybody else over the pandemic and just trying to be present for my community. Well, fast forward, we come out of the pandemic and everybody's trying to get back to it, right? We launched another season. And what I found is that people they were almost like, yeah, I'll be there. I'll try. And there was a lot of the obligated yes. Yes, Karen, I'll be there. Yes, Karen, I can do that. Yes. And it grieved my heart. Why? Because this community was never designed to be a community where people were just here out of obligation. Did you know that if you build a vision that you love, or if you build a vision on a lot of obligated yes, that thing will come for you. It will exhaust you. It will wear you out. Okay, Heather Cleverly is in here and she says, oof, this one is hitting hard. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. An obligated yes will keep you stuck, friend. It will keep you attaching to things that actually distract you away from your vision. Okay, Here comes number 2. I set you up really beautifully. The second habit that keeps you stuck are distractions and not understanding the difference between a distraction and an assignment. I'm sorry. We got to talk about this, guys, and we got to talk about it right now. You have to understand the difference between a distraction and an assignment, right? An assignment is that thing that aligns directly to what God is speaking to you about your vision. That's all. That's it. A distraction is something that is good, but it ain't God. I'm a preacher's daughter, so every once in a while I'm going to have one of those things that just, it either rhymes or whatever. Just charge it to my head and not my heart. But I need you to get this. Not understanding the differences between a distraction and an assignment. Okay? I can't tell you how many times early on when I was building my business where I would sign up for things because everybody else was doing it. Right? Oh, girl, are you coming to the such and such, so and so and such and such? Yes, of course. Isn't everybody going? Yes. But I have an elementary school age child and I have things I need to be doing for him. When you understand the difference between a distraction and an assignment, friend, you will make progress in the vision that God's given you. Now, hear me very clearly. I do not want anybody to get it twisted. We all do things that stretch us outside of our comfort zone. We all do things and have seasons where we have commitments and things that actually are aligned to what we're doing that stretch us, that overwhelm us or exhaust us. We all have seasons of that. But hear me very carefully. If you have an extended season of winter, like if winter were all 4 seasons, come on in here. Let's talk. If winter were all 4 seasons, we would be in big trouble. Now, I'm in Georgia. If we had 4 seasons of winter, we would have lots of different sayings than we have now. Bless your heart is one of them. It would get worse. Okay? I'm just saying. And there are places where winter happens for long periods of time. But in those places, that's what that climate and that geography is designed for. What season are you in? What is in your life right now, in your work? Come on. In your work, in your business, what things are distractions? You say, well, Karen, you don't understand. Oh, I understand. You don't understand because I don't have control over those things. Let me just drop it to you really quickly. And I got a t-shirt that proves it. You have more options than you realize, friend. You have more options when you realize. We're going to be talking about what some of those options are and how to discover them in this season. Like we're going to get specific and practical every single Monday. I can't wait to do that for you. Let's see. Carolyn Clark. Hey, Carolyn Clark. Welcome. I am super excited to have you in here. So glad to have you in here. Yes, girl. Distractions. Ouch. We all have them. We all have them. And that's okay. Because in this community, we're going to help you segment out what's a distraction and what's an assignment. And here's the thing. When you understand the difference between a distraction and an assignment, you will get focused, you will connect more deeply to your purpose, and you will develop a perspective that anchors you when the winds of life and career blow. I'm here for it. Jessica Banner says, phew, that's huge. Distractions versus assignments. And I know you know, Jessica. Heather says, you said once distractions can come in the form of really good things and really, really well-meaning people. And I wrote it down because it's so true. It's absolutely true. And you and I both know it. Like, listen, this is the encouragement that we need to just kind of take a breath. So this week, I want you to take a look at what you're involved in. You know, are you attached to distractions or are they assignments? right? And let me just say this, because we need to say this, that just because something is a distraction doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just because someone is a distraction doesn't mean that they're a bad person, but it may mean that you need to reevaluate how you spend your time, how you engage, the amount of time that you engage, and all of those things. You'll thank me later. Okay, that was number 2. Here's number 3. Neglecting your mental, physical, emotional, or spiritual health. I guess I should have warned you, Coach John, Heather, Jessica, Christy. I probably should have put a warning. Maybe we should put a warning on the intro, and like when we tee this up, to let people know I'm really not trying to get personal. Well, maybe I am trying to get personal. I'm just not sorry. Okay, because when we talk about these things and we do it openly and we give each other some hope that we can actually build a vision that we love, guess what? We're going to get better. But we don't do these things in isolation. Did you know that? Come on in here. We don't do things in isolation. Okay, so here's the next thing. Neglecting your mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Anybody? Okay, it got quiet. I'm going to go back to my coffee for a minute. Y'all, I am preaching to the choir. I do a lot of staying busy with all of the things that I'm involved in. I make a living out of helping other people. And lots of you in this community are in the helping profession, right? We pour in, we pour in, we pour in, we pour in, but we never take the time to do the work ourselves. Or we rush past it, right? We do a little bit and then we go back, and we do a little bit and then we go back. And then we go back for a really long time and we neglect our physical, emotional, spiritual, mental health, and we expect to feel energized. Listen to me. If you are going to build a vision that you love, you need to be doing the work. Now, commercial break. There are times and seasons, and we are all at different places. When I was early in my practice, I was still getting over the trauma and grief of caring for my mother. My mother, many of you know, Mama Clara, she's the namesake for our community and for my business. She survived ovarian cancer by 7.5 years. We're going to tell her story really, really soon. But coming out of that as a caregiver, I tried to go back to work too soon. I'm just like, for those of you that are like on the hustle bus, like, you know, I'll catch you on the next stop because I'm not getting back on that one. But I came back too soon. What I also want to say is that sometimes when you are doing the work, you don't have the luxury of just opting out of everything. But I'm telling you, when it comes to caring for your spiritual, emotional, mental, physical health, you have more options than you realize. I was having a conversation with the leader the other day. He's the CFO of a large healthcare system, and we were having this amazing conversation about the work that he does. And one of the things that he recognized is that as much as he's pouring into other people and as much as he's kind of, you know, doing all the things that make him amazing as a leader, he was not doing what he was asking his people to do, which was to invest and make space and make time for taking care of their mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual health. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, sirs. It happens to everybody. And if you are not doing those things, you may be going through the motions, but let me tell you something. Every mechanism, every organism that produces life has to have a cycle of rest. You can do the work and be making progress. Just make sure to do the work. That's good, Kieran. Amen. Amen. Talking to myself. Anyway, Carolyn says, bring it on, girl. That's right. Let's see. Jessica says 2023 is take care of me. So let's talk about that for a minute. Christy says you have to choose You're hard here. Take care of yourself or take care of your illness. Oh. I'm sorry. That was just a preach. That was so good. That was so good. And guys, I am not talking about kind of the, there are extremes to everything, right? I'm not talking about, going to the extreme of, oh, I can't help, I can't serve, I can't do anything because it's me season. I'm not talking about that. Building a vision that we love always has seasons when you have to push hard and when you have to do a little bit more than you have the energy to do. Remember, we talked about that, right? We all have those seasons. I'm not talking about just opting out of doing anything because you're going to sit by and do nothing. But my therapist reminded me the other day, Karen, it is okay to take a step back and to take care of yourself, right? That's important, and especially in this season. So we need to have balance when we look at these things, right? We're going to go back to this 2023 is Take Care of Me season. We'll go back to that in a minute. Coach Kim Dudash says, it's okay if other people misunderstand your assignments. Yes. Your assignment does not include making everybody else happy. Coach Kim, we need to talk about that. Like that could be a whole episode. Carolyn says, if you don't take care of yourself, you really can't care for others. And this is 100% true. At the height of my mom's illness, I was trying to be her sole primary caregiver. It never occurred to me to ask help. I was still trying to work. I was an international global VP of HR. I was trying to do I was raising 3 young kids. I was trying to be a wife and a leader at church. I was trying to do all the things. Folks, sometimes building a vision that you love also requires taking a step back to just take a breath. I'm just saying. Okay. Anyway. Okay. What was I on? I think that was number 3, neglecting mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. That's just, those are table stakes, guys. So can I just challenge you? Can I just challenge you for a minute to take a moment and identify one category in the vision that you have for your business, your life, your workplace? Just identify one way to care, to bring care. I'm not talking about the self-help, we established that. I'm talking about being strategic and thoughtful about how you can take care of yourself. Can I just be honest with you? For those of you that are leaders, maybe you are a high profile person. We have several of those in our community, Quiet as Kept. Maybe you are somebody who is known for being able to do it all. I hope this encourages you. One of the ways, almost 2 years ago now, actually almost 3 years ago now, I invested in a therapist. Okay. I invested in a therapist because I needed to do the work. It's really, really hard. Carolyn said it best. If you don't take care of you, it is incredibly difficult to take care of other people. You guys have heard this before. You can't pour out of an empty cup. All I'm saying is do the work, right? Face that thing. Talk about that thing. Coach Alicia Newton, who is one of our community members, she's one of our master coaches. She's also one of my best friends and my OGs in the Rock Your Vision community. She says this all the time. She's like, you can't heal what you can't feel. I'm just saying, like, we need to talk about that. Okay. John Kowaleski says the only person that's responsible for making you happy is you, right? That's hard. How many of you know that as a vision-driven leader, one of the things that we can do is we can get in our feelings because people don't understand our vision. Nobody understands. Nobody knows, right? We got to get out of that because the reality is that before anybody can respect you or honor your vision or do anything, we got to do the work ourselves. You said it, Coach John. Thank you for that. Okay. Next habit that's keeping you stuck. I hope you guys are writing these down because these are like fire. These are what we call the power plays of our community. Never asking for help. You're welcome. Never asking for help and going it alone. On the struggle bus, just trying to figure it out. You're right in here. Folks, if you are somebody, maybe you're considering, hey, I want to start a business. And you're doing that because your perspective is, oh, I just want to work for myself. I want to be in control. I want to be responsible for all the things. Let me just tell you that starting a business is like getting married or having kids. You think you're going to be out there just like living the dream and nobody ever telling you what to do or whatever. And I just need to tell you that starting a business is like getting married or having kids. You will actually learn more about yourself in doing this than you ever did working for somebody else, right? There's like the grass is always greener, isn't it? And I say that to you to say that one of the habits that is keeping you stuck is trying to do everything by yourself, never stepping back from your business or your work or your finances or whatever, to actually look across the spectrum of what you have in front of you and asking for help, asking for perspective. It's one of the reasons why Rock Your Vision exists, right? And Rock Your Vision is not the only community out there. There are so many incredible communities out there. Heather Cleverly at the Magnolia Black has an incredible community of entrepreneurs that come together that solve problems together. Kimberly DeShield Spencer, who is one of my OGs in Texas, she has an incredible community of entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs that come together to do those sorts of things. Dr. Tiffany Pierce has an amazing community. Janice Anderson has amazing communities that come together to help solve problems. Get out of that need of having to do everything yourself. Now, one of the things as an entrepreneur, I just want to talk to the entrepreneurs for a minute. Y'all come in here because this is for you. I need you to hear me. Okay. I am not going to share things with you that I either haven't experienced or have some perspective on myself. As a business owner, I got to the place in my business where I needed to scale. And I was busy. I was doing things. I was growing, right? I had incremental growth every single year. And I'm going to talk about some of the ways and places that I had that. But one of the things that I was so insecure about was if I was operating my business in a way that was compliant and legal. How many entrepreneurs do we have in here? And you're like, well, I said that, or I did that, or I used that template off of the internet, off the interwebs. And that seems like a good thing. But let me just tell you something. For me, particularly in my profession, it was really important for me to be able to run my business, but to have some semblance of confidence that I was running my business in a way that was legal, that was compliant. I wanted to be able to give my clients and my students, both on my private practice and here in Rock Your Vision, I wanted to be able to give my clients and students confidence that we were running a business that was legally compliant. And for years, I would ask questions. I was like, hey, does anybody know how to do this or anybody know how to do that? And I would get little, kind of answers pulled together. But I began to realize that I did not need to figure that thing out on my own. I discovered last year an amazing vision-driven leader who owns a business called the Biz to Brand Membership. Now, I just have to tell you, this woman, she's an attorney by trade, but she created a resource for small businesses that I joined last year that has been a game changer. Everybody say it with me, #game changer. I'm going to introduce you to her one of these days in the very near future. It may be this week. And I am so incredibly excited. It's called the Biz to Brand Membership. She has the most incredible offering for small businesses. If you are running an online business, if you are a coach, if you run anything in the online world for small businesses, you need to check out the Biz to Brand Membership. It is absolutely incredible. So whether you need templates, whether you need training, whether you need a community of other entrepreneurs that are trying to do things legally, she's done an incredible job. We've posted the link in the comments, so grab that link and please make sure to go and grab that, okay? This has been a game changer for my business. And I have learned more being in her membership than I have pretty much anywhere else when it comes to all things legal. She talks about trademarks. She talks about contracts. She talks about courses and the things that you need to build those things. And for the price, y'all, I'm waiting for her. Her name is Amber. I'm waiting for her to figure out that the price that she's offering this for. Now, I'm just saying, and let me just say this. We are getting ready to launch our membership this week, you guys, this week. It's called the Vision Casters Academy. I'm super excited. And I'm hoping that Amber will come inside of the Vision Casters Academy to download some of the goods if that's something that you're interested in. But we would never launch at the same time in the same week. But she is so unique in what she's doing in terms of how she's doing it. There are lots of memberships out there for legal templates. Amber's membership is different, and I hope that you will take advantage of this incredible offering. Okay, that is the next habit that's keeping you stuck, is being on the struggle bus and trying to do everything by yourself. Let me just tell you that DIYing it can be a wonderful thing. I have DIY'd a lot of things, and over the past 10 years, I have learned so much by getting my hands in it. But eventually, if you're going to scale, friend, you cannot do things solo, okay? You cannot do things by yourself. You cannot handle all of your scheduling. You cannot handle doing all of the graphics and all of those sorts of things. So we're going to be talking about that, you guys. I'm just saying, grab that membership, Biz to Brand membership, and get out of that struggle bus. You don't have to do things on your own, all by yourself. Okay, what number am I on, you guys? Does anybody know? I've completely gotten off track. Y'all know how I do these things. Okay, I think I'm on number 5. Here we go. Here is the next one. Tolerating 7 habits that keep you stuck. Here's the next one. Thank you, John. Tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion. Tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion. Now, we have talked about this ad nauseum since January inside of the community. If you guys were at the Vision Build workshop this year, those are our live workshops. If you are new to our community, the Vision Build workshops are live workshops. We have some incredible things coming in the Metro Atlanta area. If you are not in Metro Atlanta, you need to get to Metro Atlanta, because we've got some great things coming as it relates to those Vision Build workshops. But we talked a lot about this idea of overwhelm and exhaustion and tolerating it. Again, I am not talking about kind of that normal thing. We all have those things. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this today? But we have to do it because we have a vision, right? We've got something that we're designed to do. But tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion is not about just kind of keeping all of the status quo going. If you are exhausted, you don't feel well, all of those things, it relates to that, taking care of your mental, physical health and all of that sort of thing. But it actually is a little something unique. It's this idea and a mindset that overwhelm and exhaustion is just the way it has to be, right? That depression or sadness is just the way it has to be. Or toxic relationships are just the way it has to be. Friend, that actually is not the truth. Okay, I'm just saying, y'all say it with me. You do not have to tolerate overwhelm and exhaustion. One of the best things I ever did was join a community of entrepreneurs and female CEOs to help them, to give them an opportunity to help me, rather, to identify those places and spaces where I may be tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion, right? Iron sharpens iron. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. You do not have to tolerate overwhelm and exhaustion. Hey there, Shireen Douglas, y'all. My girl's up in here. Shireen is an incredible vision-driven leader. She's got some incredible things going on. She's also an entrepreneur, and we are excited about having her in the community this year. Hey, girl, hey. She says overwhelm and exhaustion and tolerating it. Yes, I'm coming for you, Shireen. She knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion is not something that helps you build a vision you love. It actually tears it down. You say, well, Karen, I don't know how to get out of it. I'm so glad you said that, because this is the year for you that we're going to be breaking that down and giving you some tools, resources, strategies, and frameworks that are proven, that are evidence-based, that actually work. This is the space for you, but I need you to write it down, and I need you to get clear about that. Okay. Tolerating overwhelm and exhaustion is optional. We're not going to roll like that in 2023. Coach Tiffany Spears, if y'all aren't following Dr. Tiffany Spears, she is a lifestyle strategist and coach. She's a member of this community, and she said that earlier this year. And I'm telling you, I'm gonna get that put on a t-shirt, Dr. Tiffany, if you don't. And she said, I am no longer going to be shooting from the hip. Just figuring it out, just pushing harder, pushing more. Overwhelm and exhaustion will keep you on that bus. So we're not going to be shooting from the hip anymore this year, y'all. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. That was number 6. Here comes number 7, the last one as we get ready to wrap it up. Come on in here. Can we just, y'all love me, right? I need you to drop it in the chat. We love you, Coach Karen, please, because this next one is it may sting a little bit, but I can't move on until somebody comes up in here and says, we love you, Karen. Okay. I need a little hug. Okay. I don't see it yet. I'm going to wait. Thank you, Carolyn. Okay. The 7 habits that keep you stuck. You ready? Thank you. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Christy. I love you too. Okay. How do I want to say this? Okay, here we go. Going along with things for fear of being canceled. Anybody? I'm sorry. Can we talk for a second? Now I'm going to get serious, okay? This is a politics-free environment, and it always will be. Okay? This is not about politics. Everybody that's on here, I need you to stay on here for a minute. Okay? Don't go anywhere, okay? You cannot leave the sanctuary. Okay? Pursuing sameness does not help you build a vision you love. Sameness and unity are different. And we spend too much time jumping on bandwagons and saying amen to things that in our soul and in our spirit don't align to the vision that God gave us. When I started my business, when I started Rock Your Vision, I was clear. Like, y'all, I prayed long and hard about what this community needed to look like. And I prayed long and hard. Y'all know I'm a Jesus girl. Okay. There you have it. I'm a preacher's daughter. You're going to hear Jesus up in here. That's just the way it is. And if you don't like it, that's okay. I wish you well. I bless you on the way out the door. But in this community, my corporate practice is my corporate practice, and I manage it as such. But in this community, we talk about faith as the foundation, because in my life, this community would not exist without the foundation of faith that came up in me. But do not get it twisted. This is a diverse community. The things that pull us together are not the things that make us all the same. That's not it. That's not what it's about. It's about creating an environment where we treat each other with dignity and respect. And your journey is yours. For me, I don't talk a lot about, trust your gut. I say, trust the Holy Spirit within you in this community, because my foundation is my faith in Jesus Christ. That for me is what it is. I don't know what it is for you. It may be something different, and that's your journey. But if you spend your time requiring everybody to see things the way you see them, if you require everybody to feel about your vision or your product or your team or whatever, If you're busy forcing it on people, you guys, you're going to exhaust yourself in the wrong way. I can't tell you how many times I would tiptoe around the concept of faith early on, even though faith was like the primary driver of my success in this community. I didn't want to beat people over the head with the gospel. I simply wanted people to understand the role that faith played in building a vision that I love. It's one of the core pillars. So for you, it may be something different, but here's what I found. Over the years, I got more and more tired of hiding that perspective because I was worried about being canceled. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. Y'all, anytime you build a vision that you love, anytime you build something that's worth having, you're going to offend somebody. Okay? I'm not preaching. I'm just teaching. I'm just telling you that if you are doing things the right way, you are going to offend somebody. I'm not talking about treating people poorly. I'm not talking about name calling. I'm not talking about, going along with whatever the thing is because everybody's doing it because you're afraid your card's going to be snatched. Sorry. Anyway, coffee. Y'all, I can't tell you how many times I've had people say things to me that would make your toes curl. And don't anybody tell Christy because she will come for you. She's sweet as she can be. But don't anybody tell. I'm just saying the things that people have said to me, Karen, you really need to tone it down. Why do you wear so many bright colors? You should grow your hair longer. Yeah, we already have one of those. There's a coach on every corner. Or, well, why are you doing that? Like, shouldn't you be doing something else? Or you spend too much time with your family. Like, you should be doing these other things, or fill in the blank. Sameness and unity are not the same. When you get focused, when you connect to your God-given purpose, what you were uniquely created to do, when you develop perspective that's anchored on things that are timeless, friend, I'm just saying, can you imagine? I'm going to close with this. I'm done. Can you imagine if 1 million vision-driven workplace leaders, entrepreneurs, mission-driven leaders in ministry or public service or wherever they are, can you imagine if just 1 million, think about how many people are in the world. How many people in the world? Somebody put that in the chat. Look it up. How many people are in the world? Can you imagine if just 1 million vision-driven leaders got focused, connected to their purpose, and developed perspective that could anchor them, regardless of what was happening, regardless of whether or not there was a recession, regardless of what was going on in the world? What would happen if we got focused on what we could do? What would happen if I connected to my God-given purpose and I just moved in that with the help of the Holy Spirit, right? Submitted to godly authority. What would happen if we did that? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Kim said 6 billion. Shireen said 8 billion people. There are 8 billion people in the world. That's a lot of, what if just 1 million of those people just did that? That's our mission. If you are committed to that, let's say you've got that vision. Maybe you are a leader, a VP, a CEO. Maybe you're somebody who has a celebrity platform. I don't know. We've got a little bit of all of those people in this community. Quiet as kept. Okay. What if you just had the tools, the resources, the community, the networks? Let me just say to you, 2023, somebody said it's got to hit different. My sister cousin, oh gosh, I'm gonna think of her name in a minute. I'm completely zoning right now because I'm so full. She said 2023 has to hit different. If 2023 has to hit different for you, friend, I hope that you'll come along with us. I want to give a shout out to our YouTube friends. If you are watching us on YouTube, good morning, everybody. We're going to be back in 2023 every Monday, 8:15, right here. I want to thank all of you for joining me live. This was so fun. We're going to be doing more of these solo episodes that are topical, but here's what I want you to do. If you are not connected with us on Facebook, go over and join our free coaching community. John is going to drop it in the comments. He's going to drop it in the comments, and it's scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. Go over to Facebook and join our free coaching community. It's absolutely free. We've got some cool stuff going on in there. That's an incredible place for us to get connected. In addition to that, we are going to be launching our Vision Casters Academy. This is going to be a monthly focused cohort in a group coaching environment where I'm going to introduce you and do some How I Did It episodes with some of the Vision Masters in our community. We're going to be doing some teaching. We're going to be creating resources for you. That community is already being built and it is launching this week. I cannot wait for you to be a part of that. Finally, do not forget, everybody, if you are an entrepreneur and you are interested in doing business the legal way, join the Biz to Brand membership. Come on in there with me and see what all the fuss is about. I'm telling you, when you see how she has structured this community and you see what she's offering it for, you are not going to want to miss this. I cannot wait to rock 2023 with you. We're going to get to the end of the year. December 1st is when we start shutting it down. We're going to get to December 1st and we're going to look back and we're going to say, you know what? I had more options than I realized all along. That's what I'm leaving you with. It has been an incredible morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to get another cup of coffee. In the meantime, remember, friends, you've got more options than you realize. I'll see you next week.